Hello, here is Sue for indieBerlin Radio, and my guest today is Mary Ocher. On the 7th of January, her new album, Mary Ocher and Your Government, is published, and that's why she's here today. Hello, Mary.
Oh, hi.
It's nice to have you here.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, your new album is coming out, as I just said. What do you think divides your album from the other albums before?
Well, there's more people involved. There's a band, Your Government.
Mm-hmm. And you have two drummers, yeah?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And who's responsible for all these electronic sounds and guitar sounds?
Well, I kind of do it.
Uh-huh. How would you describe your music from your own point of view?
It is death metal. Maybe if we say that it is death metal, then we will attract the ISIS, and it will also shoot people at our show. I think that was the reason why when what do they call the well, Josh Homme and like the other guy, Eagles of Death Metal.
Eagles of Death Metal.
Yes, it was a pun. The whole name was a pun. They are not playing death metal, but that was kind of enough to make it more attractive. Yeah. No, we are playing new tribalism, which is a type of electronic, kind of experimental, no-wave type of thing that is influenced by krautrock and like exotic types of music from exotic faraway places from different periods of time.
Oh, yeah, let's listen to a track. Let's listen to a track. Dream, 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 so people get an impression.
That's the next single.
So, and your album, Mary Ocher and Your Government, is published on Klangbad Records?
Yes.
How was the process of working together with them? How was the recording in their studios?
Oh, unfortunately, we did not record it in their studios. We started by crowdfunding because we didn't have a label at that point, or we didn't know who was going to release it. And we kind of just were prepared for the worst case scenario, which would be to not have a label. Which at this point feels like would be actually a really bad decision. Just because of all of the mechanisms of getting the music out there. We managed to get just enough money to cover the costs of recording, mixing, and mastering. And we couldn't make the physical copies. So we had to wait until there was a label that wanted to release it. And finally we're able to send out the copies that we owe all of the crowdfunders, which is so exciting. And I hope that they're not terribly pissed off that it took so long.
Yeah, better later than never, huh?
Of course. I keep hearing about all these crowdfunding projects that never get done, and people just take the money, and what do they do with it? That's just horrible.
I thought if the crowdfunding doesn't work, then they have to give the money back. But it's not so controlled?
I don't know. I mean, there's all these different programs. And of course, there's particular crowdfunding websites that wouldn't even let you keep the money if you don't reach the point. But if you do get the money, you have the responsibility of seeing the project until the end.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You can't just take the money and not make your project. You have a responsibility for all these people.
Yeah, it's just fair. Also, you lose your fans and everything, and your reputation.
What reputation?
So, where else did you record then?
We recorded at Love Light Studios, which relocated now to a different location. And we worked with Jochen Stroh, who worked with a lot of Afrobeat characters, including Tony Allen, and he has all these fantastic acoustic instruments and percussions and analog recording equipment. So it was really, really a blast to work with him.
Yeah, let's listen to another song, In Drag. as you already mentioned it, there are many different kinds of influences in your music. What kind of background do you have? What would you say where all these influences come together so this experience, musical experience with you is created from them?
Oh man. I suppose that it's kind of a mix and match type of experience because you don't really sit down and try to sound exactly like this combined with that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It just kind of comes out in a big audible diarrhea. But in the case of the work with the drummers for the past 3 years, we kind of just took kind of this like late 70s type of post-punk thing with kind of more exotic sounds of drumming, and
also the way you sing, sometimes a bit like in a musical or so, and then sometimes a bit rougher.
Well, in the live performances, we use also particular songs from previous solo albums. There's not going to be a lot of rock and roll on this particular album. There's mostly kind of influences of like 70s type of electronic music. It is kind of monotonous sometimes. There's a lot of percussions in it, and a lot of really strange sounding vocal effects, I suppose.
And what would you say, what are the things that you experience in your daily life that touch you so much that you feel you want to write a song, you want to make a song about them?
That's a really tough question. I think there's a lot of little drafts for songs that are starting and hardly ever get finished, but just kind of everyday incidents that ignite an idea, and then I generally just write down a few lines, just sort of beginnings, but it's kind of hard to say when it actually evolves to a finished song or a song that you are really happy with the whole of it. So it's really hard to say. It's really hard to say which songs actually came to fruition.
Is it also some kind of diarrhea or so?
To a certain extent. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let's listen to another song, Man vs. Air. Is there something like story behind this song?
That is probably the one song that people just really have to make their own interpretation of.
Your band's name currently is Mary Ocher and Your Government. Is this some kind of political message there behind your name, like because it's your government? And is it something like an alternative government for the listeners?
Well, it is some sort of pun. I suppose people can read whatever they want into it. Yeah, my personal approach to governments is very suspicious in general.
Yeah, which is good, I think. And you say about your album that it is a sub-religious experience. Can you explain this a bit more?
I suppose that for certain individuals, this particular album will seem like some sort of initiation ceremony into a cult. Ultimately, we are trying to get as many people to become religious fanatics of our new religion and kidnap them into a unknown destination and experiment of just do a bunch of strange experiments that we cannot reveal. That's all I can say.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Yeah, we don't say anything anymore about it. It's people just have to buy their album and get trapped into this new religion.
Yes, we cannot guarantee the results. It's kind of up to you, listeners.
Okay, then let's try to get some new members for your religion and listen to Sounds of War.
Revisited.
And Mary, you are not an original Berliner, as I suppose. For how long have you been living here?
A very, very long time.
Ah.
About 8 years, I guess.
Ah, like me? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you are touring a lot around on the globe. You are here and there in America, in Asia as well.
Yes.
How is it?
The food is very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Food that you would expect not to be sweet is very sweet.
Ah, like fish, for example? Or?
No, just snacks. Everything.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think is special about Berlin? What makes Berlin special, or what divides Berlin especially from the other places that you've already been to?
It's one of these places that attracts outsiders and misfits from all over the world. Everybody somehow finds themselves here.
Yeah.
And it's a great pool to make friends in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I suppose you have many friends, Mary.
Yes, and I feel like we all came here pretty much for the same reasons. We all somehow wanted to leave the places where we grew up and we didn't feel we belonged to.
Mm-hmm. Or even wanted there.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
What would you say is different about the audience in Berlin when you play a concert here?
Well, it feels very warm and very homely, and I've seen these people kind of grow up with me. I mean, after all these years, I feel that there are people that have been coming to shows for years, and then there's always new people, and I think it's a really, really interesting community. Like the faces in the crowd, there is always understanding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Some kind of familiar atmosphere, empathic atmosphere.
Yeah, I think just because a lot of these people have actually sort of seen shows every now and then for a very long time. It feels like we kind of know each other. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's also more expectations, but it feels very homely and very warm, and that's really wonderful.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. How would you describe the indie scene here in Berlin? What do you think about the indie scene, independent scene?
I don't know a lot of people that use the particular term indie. It seems like where I basically came from, in Tel Aviv, indie was a big word. And then when I came here, it was all kind of the underground and DIY. Basically, we're all talking about the same thing. It doesn't matter what hat you want to put on it. But there's a lot of different scenes here. There's like a lot of venues that specialize in particular genres. And each genre has its own crowd. And so you would expect to go a particular place and know that they're going to play golf music, or they're going to play garage or soul, or just like specifically targeted genres. And in a lot of cities you would find that, but in Berlin in particular, it's one of the most obvious features to me of the local music scene.
Mm-hmm. You know, you are here at indieBerlin Radio. So what do you associate with the name indieBerlin? What would you think when you hear it? indieBerlin.
It makes me think of places like the Schokoladen or the Magnet Club, which now changed its name to something else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It makes me think of places, or like physical locations in the city.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Because there's the Berlin in the name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but just sort of like the genre, everything is so genre connected. It's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and to come back to your album, Mary Ocher and Your Government, which is out on the 7th of January, you also have a record release party.
Yes.
On the 10th of January at Roter Salon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what can we expect there? You present your new album, of course. And
there's going to be a variety of strange performance art pieces. And we can only hope that the people will come with a very open mind and not be disrespectful to the performance art pieces. Because it is not a gallery space, it's not a museum, it's a music venue. Mm-hmm. And usually at the music venue, there's an expectation to come and watch live music. But this time we're going to try to add something extra special on top. So I really hope that the people will know what they're getting themselves into. It will also be relatively early. The doors are opening at 7 and I think it will start at 8. So I really hope that people will not come at 10 or 11 and say, but we thought it was going to be a show.
That's true. Maybe you should really announce it really precisely that it really starts at 8, because in Berlin people always tend to think, it starts at 8, so it starts at 11.
It's a Sunday. It will actually start early.
Yeah, so I hope many people come. Yeah, all the best for your tour. Are you also on tour then afterwards?
We're still working on it. There's just a few dates that are already announced, but we are still looking to see where exactly the new album will take us in the near future.
So we keep our eyes open to find out about these dates and how it goes on. And yeah, where can people find you? Where can people get it?
Well, if you just walk outside of your door and you look right, you might see me.
In my case, yes, because we are neighbors.
We are. That was a fascinating discovery.
Yeah.
Yes, Berlin, folks, by the way, is not that small. Internet people. On the internet. Just Google Mary Ocher.
Yeah.
Mary Ocher and Your Government, and you will find Facebook, Bandcamp, and the official website.
Yeah, so easy, so easy. So thank you a lot, Mary.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we listened to a last song of you. It's called A New Language.
Yes.
So, bye.
Bye.
More capable than you think.